All right. Good morning, cyber traders. Welcome on back to close out our week this Friday, September 13th. Of course, you could tell by the voice, this is not Fausto. Josh tagging in from this morning. Little late notice, or not late notice. Actually, that was on me. I should have been more prepped up for that. I got a face for radio, though, if you're on social media. Can't see the old face here, but great to see Lawrence, Gillis, Richard, got Margaret, Michael, Kerry, got all of us here in chat right now. Full house here, actually, for Friday morning. So great to have all of us there, all of us back on social media, though, that otherwise at Cyber Trading You. You'll see that popping up on the lower left right there. Always look to follow, subscribe, look to continue the conversation with us each and every weekday. But with that there is actually a lot to talk about, provided that, well, frankly, we didn't really have many earnings last night. We don't have any earnings this morning to talk about. But with that there, right, we'll talk about this IMRX pre-market trade to begin. But of course, coming off of Wednesday from yesterday, actually, we had the CPI numbers, the PPI numbers. Market's been red hot, and there is a lot moving still. So IMRX to begin, hey, just more of like an inexpensive pre-market day trade type of move. These types of stocks are not swing trades at first. We day trade and we swing trade here. A day trade can turn into a swing trade, but there are parameters and the day is very young. So that's where for IMRX, we'll see how this opens up. Right now, I'm in this trade from $2, 202. I'm looking for the bounce. We haven't gotten it yet. Had a good entry, but we haven't gotten it yet. So that typically means that if it's not going to make that big move that we're looking for, it's more bound to make a lower high and a pullback there, perhaps. So what's the news on IMRX? Why is it up at least so much? So IMRX looks like some firm, Needham, never heard of them, reiterates buy on IMRX, maintaining a $15 price target. So that's a pretty steep price target. I'll take that. Now, the thing with price targets, don't hold your breath waiting for that number to get hit. $15. Come on, that's what, like a 600% move or so from here, right? Like more. I guess it's possible, but don't hold your breath waiting for that price today, let alone ever. Now, if they're expecting 15 at some point in time, is it possible for us to get maybe 50 cents out of this trade today? Is it possible for this to try and hit 250? Is it possible for it to try and hit 3? Yeah, that's definitely less far-fetched than 15. So that's kind of how we think about price targets, especially if they're more like outlandish number, like $15 per share when this is trading at 2. So yeah, IMRX, I have no problems putting on our morning watch list here going into the open at least. But again, there's plenty to talk about just from yesterday. I got to keep my eye on that trade. I'm still in, but again, SPY has been just red hot from the CPI numbers that we had just on Wednesday. Actually, at first led to a drop, but otherwise led to a pretty strong bounce, and then afterwards had this V pattern here. This is the CPI day. Sorry. So drop off here. Here's our V pattern that we had a huge slingshot all the way back up towards 555 and then some. And then yesterday, obviously, a little consolidation and continuation there. As far as this morning, like pre-market wise, NVIDIA did well off of those numbers from Wednesday into yesterday. That was one of the better trades. I know the First Solar FSLR had a huge pop on Wednesday off those CPI numbers as well. That could still be in play for today. I'll tell you what, coming off the iPhone launch, I know Fausto did a big video on this on our YouTube feed. Just check that out at Cyber Trading You on our YouTube channel. But otherwise, though, Apple's up a little bit this morning. I saw it in pre-market pushing up a little bit higher. It was trying just before. That could be a better play as far as like a large or mega large cap stock goes for right now. I'll take a look at Tesla as well, but TSLA. Ooh, a lot of shakes on this one. So, hey, for as well as JP Morgan, I think it was, said that Tesla is going to do, it's their top stock across the remainder of this year and going forward. Their words, not mine. But, it ended up leading to a big pop. Consolidation, though, and that's really been the name of the game on Tesla. So as volatile as it is, as much as we love trading TSLA, if it's not making higher highs, then it's more bound for this move to happen over time here. Now, really quick, I gotta thinking about just dumping out on that IMRX. I'm going to keep it on the morning watch list, obviously, but just drooping down a little bit. I took a little profit, half the shares I had at 205 earlier before the meeting started. And it's like, if it drags down, I may as well just get out. I'm keeping an eye on that still. All right, so what we'll do is go from top to bottom here coming up. And for anything else that we really didn't comment on just yet, we'll definitely get to. Of course, for any of us inside our live trading room, you knew I was going to get to TNON, right? Of course, that's the top percent gainer still. But what the hell happened here? What on God's green earth happened here, this stock this morning? So had a phenomenal pop at like 4 in the morning. I'm getting my REM sleep then at that point. I end up going from what, like 10 up to 120. Are you freaking kidding me here? How does this happen? Why does this happen? Well, this is where I could just simply say, I'm not going into like the real X's and O's as far as this one move, but this is just where I tell you, A, for a stock that's low float and low volume, it allows, the possibility of a larger move if the stars could align. But then B, pre-market wise, there's much less people out there in the order book, less buyers, but also less sellers. And with that, that's what led for this to make such a clean run. But the thing with pre-market trading is that there are no halts. You can't get halted in pre-market off of like a volatility halt. It'd be news, but not volatility. So why did the stock move up so much so fast? How did it not get halted? That's how, pre-market trading. If this was 9:30 in the morning, this would be getting halted every 5 seconds. It reopens up. You know what I mean? So what goes up does come back down. And I think at this stage, it's only going to keep dropping. I've seen this song and dance before where you might think like, oh, it's going to continue. It's going to keep going. It could, I'll put it on our list. It could. There's much better stocks to work with, though, for Friday morning for today. At least I'm hoping for that to be the case. But you know what? I'll add it to our list in hopes of a little move. If you're just going to do it on 1 share, 2 shares, be my guest. But if you're looking to make actual money, I think for right now, you have more confidence in trading something that isn't up as much, or at least otherwise is a lot more filled in, a lot more liquid. ATPC popping right now as I'm talking. So what happened here? This stock making a new run. Obviously going to put this on our watch list just because of this more recent move. But let's see. ATPC news. Partners, new headline right now. Agape ATP shares trading higher after the company announced it entered into a strategic collaboration with Photons Solar Technology, a company that is focusing on developing solar photovoltaic mounting systems in ASEAN countries. Folks, don't ask. I don't know the first thing. So this is the headline I was just reiterating to you right there. I don't know anything about anything on that headline. Obviously got a great reaction from the street. And that's all we care about here. We follow the smart money. We follow the money in general. So ATPC, it goes on our list. Just be careful, though, at this point. I honestly, I'd probably even whip out a little fib extension or tracement. Maybe down to like 250 or so for support. This would be great. If it's going to hold from here, then we're going to get a new high pretty soon. But, just be careful for a pullback on this ATPC trade. 250 could be a good level. 50-cent level, FIP level there too. All right, we keep it going though. VMAR, again, similar to the TNON where it just popped and then just came back down. So is it possible it can make another up move? Maybe, possibly. Let's see what else is out there though. Okay, we're looking better on my IMRN. Let me actually just move it like this here so I can see my position. There we go. All right, so IMRN still on our list. That making the bounce now. I'm looking for it to make. Hopefully that keeps going. ENVX, it's kind of holding up here a little bit, trading nearly 300,000 shares so far in the morning. That's actually good. Just a little spotty of a graph, though, for being honest. You have a little historical level here. It broke down from at 964. It's above that right now, so perhaps that could be support on a pullback, right? I mean, I don't know if it's going to pull as deep down here, but 965, 964 could be a strong, strong support level. Good sideless play. SBSY, this one actually looks pretty good just for the sake that it's inexpensive at the highs as well. If there's news out on this company, then I'll likely kind of slip this on our list here. More of like a lower risk category 1 or 2 stock. I feel like the market's going to open up and the order book's going to fill in a lot on this trade. So it'll probably be that category 1 or 2 trade that we know it to be. Ooh, unfortunately, no news. No news. I don't have a headline. That's kind of what I was looking for there. That's a little... All right, let's see what else is out there. Remember, it's a Friday, so you want to be a little picky and choosy. That ATPC was a nice catch for where we caught it. Uber making a nice pop right now. So obviously some news happening out on Uber. Let's take a look. Uber shares trading higher after the company and Waymo announced an expansion of their partnership, bringing autonomous ride-hailing to Austin, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia. So obviously 2 major cities, and that there is good news for Uber, just overall for the stock. Nice little reaction there so far. Of course, it goes on our watch list there. Now, that was only in relation to Uber. So normally if we have news with Uber, we would go Lyft. It's popping a little bit. Is there a need? Is there a giant necessity? Not really. Not really. I mean, if it trends better after the open, we'll be interested in it. Oracle breaking all-time highs. I mean, another pop, actually up 6% today. What the hell? Okay, so let's take a look at Oracle. That can't be right. Is there more news on Oracle again? They beat earnings. They popped up. Larry Ellison, top 5 richest people again. Okay, trading higher after the company reportedly 2029 guidance. That's what this is up on. Holy smokes. You don't really see news like that often, let alone the reaction off of it after. So clearly, if the street didn't like Oracle to begin, they certainly do now. You know what I mean? Like, they loved it to begin, and they love it that much more now. They're talking about 2029 fiscal year guidance. That's 5 years from now, obviously. So, $104 billion worth. And that was yesterday, last night, actually. I missed out on that. So huge reaction. Once again, Oracle goes back on our watch list. If there's an ETF for Oracle, that would be even easier because it'd be probably cheaper. But, again, if it's more expensive and if you're not really trading a $171 stock, I'm going to put it on our list, rightfully so. Just don't let it be a distraction to you. Don't let it be a waste of your time because, if we're calling it out, just don't let it be noise to you. That's all. Easier said than done some days. All right, hop over to the losers list, though. EGIO, we'll talk about this briefly because this had a great dead cat bounce yesterday, had a hell of a pop just going into the early afternoon session, right? The stock was down 90+%, or like 87+%, I think it was back, on Tuesday this week, or Monday this week it was, and eventually led to a nice little bounce here. So we wait for it. We don't hold our breath waiting for that pop, expectedly so. But if we start to see a sharper move up, we add 1 and 1 together and get 2. We say, oh, the stock's down like 90%, 85%. There's a case for this to try and make a move. Very similar, actually, very briefly here. It's number 7 on the losers list, actually. I'm going to jump ahead. But Ride, look at this yesterday, right? Remember this trade from yesterday? This was a hell of a dead cat bounce. We found this in the afternoon meeting. It was halted, actually, at like 2:30 in the afternoon, practically at this point. And I mean, man, when it's down 90%, 94%, you don't guarantee it again, but you hope for it more and more. So, this one with the gap that it had on the 1-minute chart, it's just a 1-minute chart at a huge gap like this. That's where you think it even more. So this was a great play. Ride, that is. Same with the EGIO. But what happens when the shorts are done covering? What happens when the day traders are done buying? It's cooked. It's cooked. Done. Game over. We talk about day trading and swing trading here. Those stocks are the last stocks on earth that you would ever want to swing trade. Even if it moves up the next day, there are just plenty of easier trades, more intelligible trades that we could take. And that's it. So they were fun while they lasted. Not really a lot on the loser side here. Actually, PDD, we had just earlier. We did call this out before. Any news on PDD again? I know we got some more expensive stocks on our watch list here going into the open. Uber, Oracle, PDD, Team Biden targets Shane and Temu with new rules to curb abuse of U.S. trade loophole by Chinese e-commerce giants. I need coffee. I don't even have any coffee in me this morning. So with that there, I'll stop stuttering. But PDD, good short to work with here going into the open. Moderna back down. Wow. So for as much as this was a good bounce yesterday, clearly this doesn't seem like it wants to continue just yet, unless if there's more news that came out overnight on it. Just honestly, for right now, we got to make use of time here, folks. Want to make sure all of our students are prepped up going into the open. Luis, Gillis, Guy, Lynn, and Randy, Paul, all of us here in chat. And then, hey, if there's anything else that you see, let me know now. But I think that we're done with the news. Done with Newsman Levitan for the morning. Randy say, bring on that Trader Joe's dark roast for them. Ready for the second cup. I got a Florida local coffee company I get from here, Caribou. So be sipping some of that this morning. But otherwise, folks, last call. If there's anything else looking good on the way up, on the way down, left, right, up or down more than 5%, just let me know. Wintier, WINT, not going anywhere just yet. This is a famous pop and drop stock. Don't want to touch this really just yet. Side list, ENVX, we're going to keep it there. Just if it was trading even more volume, less spotty chart here, I'd be interested, but for right now, I'll pass. SMX, same deal. All right, I'll tell you what, folks, we just scanned the market for the last 16 minutes straight, right? I mean, unless if anything is popping and getting halted, I would say start and stick with this watch list here. It's going to give you the best chance to work with a runner going into the open. Along with that, we're going to be focused on this list mainly in our chat board. So you don't really want to stray too far away and wander off on your own as much. That's where start off on the IMRX, that ATPC, Uber, obviously TNON for as volatile as that is. Just do that on one share. Like do that on one share, 10 shares, whatever it is, just much smaller position size from what you normally do. Chris saying SBSW. Yeah, so we saw this earlier, no? Did we not see this earlier? Yeah, we did. This is the one that we said no news on. There's no news out on this stock. You know what? If I'm going to add anything else to our list, I guess this would be it. I just don't like that there's no news out on it. Order book will likely fill in after the open, but for now, it's trading enough volume total. It's up 7%. It is tradable in that regard, so I'll slip it on there, Chris. I'll be rooting it on. I'll hope for that to make a better move. But yeah, if there's any news out on SBSW, please let me know. All right, folks. But hey, we're going to prep up, get ready going into the market open. All of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. Once more at Cyber Trading U. Look to click follow, click subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend that we have social media. We stream live each and every weekday in the morning. We're streaming in the afternoon too, but namely inside our live trading room there. Do a live workshop every Monday afternoon. So always look to follow us on social. Otherwise, look to join us inside our live trading room. Just scan that QR code on the top left with your phone, with your camera, and you'll be good to go there with us. All right, but for Lynn and Randy, Michael, Elmer, Ravi, Simon, Craig, got 120 of us inside our live trading room this morning. Last couple here I see here at the end. I don't want to pass over anyone that chatted me just before. Ride's not going anywhere, Lorian. That's done. That was flavor of the day yesterday. We are well moved on from that stock now. Same with the EGIO. The reason I say it that way is because look at how it's trending. You don't want to get stuck in something like this, hoping and hoping and hoping just because it made one move on one day. That's where, of course, just there's other fish in the sea to catch. But the Lumen, LUMN, this is actually one. I forgot about Roger. It's up. It's not up that 5%, right? But, it was one from yesterday that did very well. We did pretty well in the morning on this trade. We were looking for a runoff of 6 going into the afternoon. Didn't get it. It is moving up higher this morning. So I'll keep this on our side list, Roger. If this ends up pulling back going into the open, I would look for support at 6. I would love to see if that resistance can flip. But for right now, again, I'd rather stick with that Uber trade, the IMRX. Certainly, I'm still in that, looking for the bounce from 2. And then the others. All right, folks. But otherwise, hey, best of luck going into the morning here, going into the day. If you had hit your day's pay, your week's pay already from earlier in the week, I would look to finish up early, right? It's a Friday, not as much out there otherwise, not as many earnings out there. So, if you did well already, I would start the weekend early, finish up this day early. But otherwise, hey, this gives us one last chance to hit our goals and to hit our targets. So there is, some ball left to play, and hopefully we have a strong open. Hopefully we have a strong open here going into the morning. But otherwise,